I grew up Jewish. And I don't mean Hebrew Israelite. I mean my father converted us to Judaism when I was about 6, between the ages of 6 and 12.
What's good, cousins, and welcome back again on another episode today. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. And if you're joining for the very first time, thank you so much for being here today. Don't make it your last time, so smash the subscribe button and turn your bell notification on. I have a video of a lady who talked about the Israel-Palestine conflict as an ex-Jewish person. Her take on this particular one is very, very good, and I would like you guys to hear what she has to say. There's just something about this video and I want you guys to see it, and maybe at the end of our video we all can agree to the fact that we have so much, like there is still so much to figure out. So let's hear what this Caribbean ex-Jewish lady has to say about the Israel-Palestine conflict going on in the world right now.
I grew up Jewish. And I don't mean Hebrew Israelite. I mean my father converted us to Judaism when I was about 6, between the ages of 6 and 12. And I went to synagogue. My rabbi was ethnically Jewish as well. His name was Rabbi Moshe. We went to a very diverse synagogue. I'm from Miami, Florida. I'm Caribbean descent. So it was a mix of every Caribbean, every Latino, Dominican. It's a full house of ethnic diversity. My father wanted me to have a bat mitzvah. We went to every holiday, celebrated Pesach, celebrated Hanukkah. My favorite thing to do was blow the shofar and spin dreidels. I was a little Jewish, Caribbean Jewish picnic. Father identifies himself as a man of the Torah, and he is a hardcore Jew. He makes jokes about it, and he sends me videos of the prayer. I can even pray I could pray specific Hebrew prayers. I can't remember all of it, but that was an interesting time in my life. I hated it because it felt restrictive. It's created this level of disillusion in me with everything going on. And I remember my father explaining to me how Israel, they're not good people. They're a colonial state. The Israelis are not even the indigenous Israelis. Keep in mind, Britain shipped European Jews to that region in the early 1900s. And oppressed people came to this region and did their own form of oppression, which is where we have to go back to the conversation of the structural dysfunctions within the European state of mind. We somehow seem to dysfunct into these states of needing to claim power through their toxic idealism. I am a true believer that xenophobia is a psychological illness, a psychological dysfunction that need to subject someone due to phenotypical differences, religious differences, spiritual differences, cultural differences. And I'm now at this point where I'm split. I'm in the Western world. I'm living the Western life. I'm doing the American thing, barely making it, subverting our consciousness, living under a minimum wage, while simultaneously watching them commit genocide to ensue a nationalist identity of whiteness through the lens of Judaism. Now, I watched a video saying that one of the reasons why they're also doing this is because of a canal. I would love for everyone to comment about that. But they're trying to build a canal, and that the canal that separates Egypt from, I think, the Middle East, it makes $9 billion a year. So they're trying to take that part of the land and create another canal. Israel, France, Britain, and the US is all in on it. It feels like it's too late. They have the monopoly on violence because of their weaponry. We funded the corporations, which the corporations funded the development of weaponry, which allowed the development of monopoly on violence. It's very simple. It's a very simple succession. And if we don't acknowledge these things, we are going to continue to live in the cycle, because guess what? As soon as we click off our TikTok pages, we are going back out here and funding the corporations through consuming their medicine, through consuming their food, through consuming their technology. And it's like, on one level, it's very hard to stray away from these corporations because they've monopolized basic resources. But collectively, if we ever want to redirect the narrative, one, we need to elect a new billionaire. That's my new narrative. And I'm going to post a video about that. Two, we need to redirect the dollar. And three, we need to acknowledge the powerhouse that TikTok gave us. We are now the manufacturers. We can redirect a large portion of funding. Now, it's hard. I keep going back to the thought process. It's a little too late. They got the monopoly on violence. Their weaponry is out of this world. How are we going to defeat someone who's willing to shoot you for just standing and existing? Willing to torture you for just breathing? How do you really combat that? But if there's a will, there's a way. So I'm asking everyone to really, really put this into your narrative, into your conceptualization. And this applies to me too, because I'm not absolved from it. I do my best to stay away from certain corporations. McDonald's, I don't even eat that for health reasons. That's literally the number one reason why they got us locked up now, mentally and emotionally. But McDonald's, Starbucks, like, that's the basis you can do. And if you can't, I don't want to see you coming on here rapping about Palestine or any other genocide that's happening right now. When this came up, it added a different layer of like, wow, I really hate you, God. I really fucking hate you. And I know that's a lot. Shout out to the Muslims for their unwavering faith. For those who are really practicing unwavering faith right now is insane. But I think the number one important thing for everyone to do is to keep the Palestinians' history in your mouth. We have to maintain, because what is happening is that they're trying to eradicate any identity. This is not a land conflict issue. They're trying to eradicate the nature, the history. They're bombing cemeteries, y'all. This isn't just move over. This is like, we don't want your kind on this planet to ever be acknowledged. So the very first thing we can do is to make sure that we make our time and effort to really learn and keep the Palestinian history alive. But until we figure out how to really move weight, really shift the narrative of these billionaire corporations, xenophobic leaders, let's just start there.
What do you guys think about that video? I would like to hear your thoughts about what is going on. I'm posting this video because there are so many videos on TikTok of people saying, oh, why will you tell me not to buy this? Why will you tell me not to buy that? And stuff like that. Of the part where she mentioned that even after we get off of TikTok, we are still going out there funding these corporations because they have taken over so many things, basic things that we need. We are still consuming their medicines. You are still using their technology. It's just so deep, because I think this particular part has put a lot of people in a state of, what exactly can I do to help? I think this is the reason why we need to continue to share the history of the Palestinian people. It's just so important to see how another person who went through oppression, trying to oppress another people to eradicate any traces of their existence in this world. I would like you guys to share your thoughts in the comment section. I love how this lady analyzed it. I love how she talked about it. She worded everything beautifully, and it's just so sad to see that these people are taking over. And even when you say you don't want to fund this corporation, they just make life so difficult because they have taken over all of these places. Like the video that I shared a few weeks ago, a lady said it's almost like the only ally we have is, technology, is social media. So make sure you share, make sure you post on your story. Let's keep the history and the name Palestinians in our mouth, because I still believe the power of unity, and I know that one day a change is going to happen. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you all so much for joining, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe before you go and turn your bell notification on as well, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.